Hello students, welcome to today's session. So today we are going to deal with chapter 1 of class 6 science, which is food and where does it come from. ठीक है, तो आज हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं, class 6 का chapter number 1 of science textbook of NCERT, and name of the chapter is food, where does it come from. Okay, so basically हम ये पूरे session में we are going to use both the languages like Hindi and English, and हमारे यहाँ पे main motive क्या है, to make you understand the depth of the chapter, right? ये chapter में क्या लिखा हुआ है वो आपको समझ आए, and this is my promise to you. Once you are coming here, you are not going empty hands, right? आप यहाँ आएंगे, सीख कर जाएंगे. So stay tuned for the session. So let's start with the session, right? Okay, we'll go line by line, okay? Because I believe reading in between the lines is very important, right? आपकी textbooks बहुत अच्छी हैं. Trust me, your textbooks are really, really nice. Sometimes when we are reading, sometimes we don't understand something, right? So I'm here to make you understand whatever is written in the textbook. जो भी आपकी textbooks में लिखा है, यहाँ पे वही मैं आपको समझाने के लिए बैठी हूँ, isn't it, right? Okay, तो हम line by line जाएंगे. We'll try to understand whatever is written in the whole chapter. We'll go line by line, see all the examples, and trust me, your textbooks are very beautifully written. Okay, so why to miss that, right? Okay, so let's start. Okay, so what did you eat at home today? Okay, so the starting of the chapter starts with a question, what did you eat at the home today? So क्या खाया आप लोगों ने दिन में? कुछ तो खाया होगा, डेली उठते हैं आप, then after your regular stuffs, खाना खाते हैं आप, ब्रेकफास्ट करते हैं, लंच करते हैं, डिनर करते हैं, right? And see what your friends ate today. So did you eat the same kind of food yesterday and today? We all eat different kinds of food at different times, isn't it? है ना, सब टाइम पे हम अलग अलग तरीके का खाना खा रहे हैं, right? So here basically we are talking about the food variety, है ना? We are talking about the variety of foods. आज जो हमने खाया जरूरी नहीं है वो कल खाया था, या जरूरी नहीं है वो कल खाएंगे, right? So we always take different varieties of food, right? And if you ask your friends also in the school about the items they would be eating during a day, वो कुछ अलग होगा, ठीक है? And it also depends upon the states. For example, if this is India का north, वेस्ट, ईस्ट, साउथ, तो सब जगह का खाना पीना अलग है ना? नॉर्थ इंडियंस का अलग है, साउथ इंडियंस का अलग है, वेस्टर्न इंडिया का अलग है, ईस्टर्न इंडिया का अलग है, isn't it, right? So depending upon the state as well, यहाँ पे हमारा खाना पीना चेंज हो जाता है, right? For example, South Indians eat most of them eat idli, dosa, sambar, isn't it, right? Okay, so okay, let's make a table. What do we eat? Name of the, you can write down the name of your friend and the food items eaten in a day. Why are we doing so? To see the variety of foods. क्यों कर रहे हैं हम ऐसा? So that we can observe the different varieties of food. For example, here you can see idli, chutney, sambar, fish is there, and then dal is there, right? Isn't it? So you can see there is very much variety in the food that we eat, right? Now the question here is, what are these food items made of? ये सारे food items जो है, like इडली हो गया या रोटी हो गई, वो किसके बने हुए हैं? अगर if for example think about the rice cooked at home, आपके घर में चावल बनते हैं तो वो किसका बना हुआ है? We take first of all raw rice, boil करते हैं हम उसको, उसमें then थोड़ा water डालते हैं, and we are taking water and maybe some salt, and then taking the raw rice and we are boiling it, right? So example, here it is made up of rice and water only. So we are using two materials to make the cooked rice, right? To make the boiled rice, right? On the other hand, कुछ फूड आइटम्स होते हैं जिसमें बहुत सारे इंग्रेडिएंट्स की जरूरत होती है हमें. फॉर एग्जांपल, if your elders in the home is cooking vegetable curry, you need different kinds of vegetables, salt, spices, oil, and so on, right? Isn't it? Okay, so it is like, let's see some of the food items और उसमें क्या क्या ingredients की जरूरत होती है. क्यों देख रहे हैं हम ऐसा? Just to analyze कि food items की variety के साथ साथ what are the different ingredients that are useful in the preparation of those food items, right? For example, if we talk about roti and chapati, रोटी और चपाती की बात करें तो क्या चाहिए हमें? उसको पहले जो आटा होता है उसको पानी डाल के हमें गूंदना पड़ता है. So आटा and water, flour and water. Then when we talk about dal, we need pulses, water, salt, oil, ghee, and some other spices as well, depending upon in what way you want to cook the dal, right? सो इस सबसे हम क्या सीख रहे हैं, क्या देख रहे हैं इस सबसे? Are we finding any common ingredients for different food items? Yes, there are some ingredients common. For example, water, salt, spices. Some of the ingredients are common, right? तो ये सारे ingredients जो भी हैं वो हमारे आते कहाँ से? अगर हम चावल की बात कर रहे हैं, दाल की बात कर रहे हैं, flour की बात कर रहे हैं, so where do these ingredients come from? So now let's go to food materials and sources. So अब हम यहाँ पे बात करने वाले हैं different food materials and the sources, जहां से हमें food materials मिल रहे हैं. Sources means जहां से हमें food materials मिल रहे हैं. So it may be easy for us to guess some of the sources of these ingredients, right? For example, fruits और vegetables की अगर हम बात करें तो plant है इनका source, trees है, right? प्लांट से मिलते हैं, ट्रीज से मिलता है, ऑफ कोर्स, इजंट इट, राइट? देन राइस की अगर हम बात करें, वीट की बात करें, तो राइस कहाँ से मिलता है हमें? पैडी फील्ड से. वीट कहाँ से मिलता है? वीट फील्ड से, इजंट इट, राइट? और अगर हम फॉर एग्जांपल इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एग्स, hen से मिलता है. सोर्स ऑफ एग इज hen. सोर्स ऑफ मीट इज अगेन चिकन का सोर्स क्या है? hen, राइट? ओके, सो सोर्स मीन्स वो चीज आपको मिल कहाँ से रही है. Okay, so let's see some of the food items and let's prepare their ingredients and the source of those ingredients. For example, आपको इडली बनानी है तो इडली के लिए you need rice, dal, and dal is urad dal, salt and water. So what are the various sources of these materials? What are the different sources? Rice comes from plant, urad dal again comes from plant, then salt comes from sea, no? Water, again water comes from ocean, then or seas and or river, right? Okay, first of all we should write river, okay, instead of ocean, because ocean में कैसा salty water रहता है. So rivers, lakes and all these are sources of water, right? Similarly you can check for other items too, like chicken curry बना रहे हो तो chicken चाहिए, spices चाहिए, from where the different spices coming. अगर आप खीर बना रहे हो तो you need milk. Milk comes from animal, rice comes from plant, then sugar comes from sugar cane, isn't it, right? It is again a plant. It is again a plant, isn't it, right? Okay, तो सोर्स का मतलब आपको यहाँ समझना है. सोर्सेस का मतलब कि कहाँ से आपको वो फूड प्रोडक्ट मिल रहा है. ओके, ठीक है. अभी हमने जैसे प्लांट्स की बात की, तो प्लांट्स को जब हम देखते हैं तो फॉर एग्जांपल कि वो जो पूरा प्लांट है उसमें सारी चीजें एडिबल नहीं होती है ना. प्लांट्स के कुछ पार्ट या एनिमल्स या प्लांट के पार्ट्स की बात करें तो कुछ पार्ट एडिबल होता है. एडिबल का मतलब जो खाने लायक है. ओके, विच यू कैन ईट. एडिबल मीन्स ईटेबल. ओके, एंड कुछ पार्ट होते हैं जो नॉन एडिबल होता है, विच इज नॉट एडिबल, राइट? बिकॉज वी नो प्लांट्स आर वन ऑफ द सोर्सेस ऑफ आवर फूड, राइट? बट उसके सारे पार्ट्स तो एडिबल नहीं है, सारी चीजें तो नहीं हम खा सकते हैं. काफी सारे प्लांट्स की लीव्स हम खा सकते हैं, वी कॉल इट एज लीफी वेजिटेबल्स. We eat fruits of some plants, and sometimes we eat roots of some plants, or sometimes stems or even flowers of some plants, right? So it depends upon the variety of the plants कि हम उसको कौन सा part edible है, right? Every plant has different parts which are edible, isn't it, right? जैसे अगर आपने कभी pumpkin खाया है, कद्दू, have you ever eaten pumpkin, right? तो pumpkin में क्या होता है? Pumpkin flowers dipped in. Have you ever eaten pumpkin flowers dipped in rice paste and fried? Pumpkin के flowers को क्या करते हैं? Rice के paste में dip किया and then उसको deep fry करते हैं, right? And it means the pumpkin flowers is edible here, no? You can eat it. But अब सभी जो plants हैं उसके सारे flowers तो edible नहीं होते. So there are some plants, some flowers, कुछ plants जिनके flowers edible है. कुछ प्लांट्स ऐसे हैं जिनके फ्लावर्स एडिबल नहीं है. मे बी उसके स्टेम होगा या रूट होगा, या मे बी दे आर गिविंग सम काइंड्स ऑफ फ्रूट्स, इजंट इट, राइट? So here the Paheli is asking one question. Paheli wants to know if any of our food comes from sources other than plants and animals. क्या plants और animals के अलावा भी हमारा कहीं से food source मिलता है हमें? Think upon it and do comment in the comment section कि जो हमारे सोर्सेस ऑफ फूड में सिर्फ जो सोर्स है वो सिर्फ प्लांट से सारा सोर्स आ रहा है और सिर्फ एनिमल से आ रहा है, और कोई और सोर्स भी है जो हमें खाना मिल रहा है इतना, उसका कुछ और सोर्स भी है. I want questions from answers from all of you. You can comment in the comment section. Okay, so let's proceed. तो किसी किसी प्लांट्स में क्या होता है, there can be 2 or more edible parts or eatable parts, right? For example, अगर हम मस्टर्ड प्लांट की बात करें तो उसके सीड्स भी हम खा सकते हैं, it gives us oil, and लीव्स भी हम सब्जी बनाते हैं मस्टर्ड की, के लीव्स की, it is also used as a vegetable. Okay, so har ek plant ke different parts are like edible, some are not edible. Okay, some are eatable, some are not eatable. Okay, so here is an activity for you. Food items दिए हुए हैं, ingredients दिया हुआ है, so मतलब या उनका source दिया हुआ है, and the plant part which gives us the ingredient. For example, ब्रिंजल का कौन सा, जो ब्रिंजल जो आप खाते हो वो उस plant का actually fruit में आता है. Similarly, chili is a fruit. Oil from groundnut, mustard, soybean and other plant, it is a seed, right? Okay, so now Bhujo is saying to Paheli, do not try to taste unknown plants around you to see if they are edible. Okay, क्योंकि कुछ leaves या plants कैसे हो सकते हैं, they may be poisonous, तो सब हमें खा के नहीं देखना है whether they are edible or not. Okay, so here some activities are given to you from all the food items you have listed in the previous table. Choose those items which ingredients are obtained from plants. तो आपको चूज करना है कि कौन से इंग्रेडिएंट्स हमें प्लांट से मिले हैं and which part of the plant से मिले, plants के कौन से part से मिले. Okay, so this is activity which you can do on your own. Now, so there are some activities given. You have to read these activities and perform it. Okay, so let's move ahead with the main concepts of the chapter. अभी जैसे अगर आप honey bees को देखें, you can see the honey bees. Have you ever seen the honey bees? So honey कहाँ से आता है? Honey bees लाते हैं. So do you know where this honey comes from or where it is produced or how it is produced? तो beehive देखे हैं आपने, सबने देखे होंगे, जो मधुमक्खी का छत्ता होता है, which is called as beehive. So वहाँ पे क्या होता है, बहुत सारी bees होती है and they keep buzzing around it. तो bees क्या करते हैं, flowers के ऊपर जाके उसके juices को collect करते हैं, the sweet juices of the flowers, which is called as nectar. Nectar का मतलब क्या है, the sweet juices from flowers, and they convert those juices into honey. Juices को लेते हैं flowers में से and then they convert it into honey and then store it in their hives. ये छत्ते में फिर इसको store करते हैं. Okay, so flowers and their nectar may be available only for a part of the year. Whole year वो पूरे साल ऐसा नहीं करते हैं, कुछ part of the year में ये activity वो perform करते हैं and then they store all the sweet juices that we call it as nectar in the beehives. इन छत्तों में store करके रखते हैं. Okay, so bees store these nectar for their use all through the year. पूरे साल उसको use करते हैं, right? And when we find such beehives, we collect the food stored by the bees as honey, है ना? Isn't it, right? So let's come to animals. Let's see what do animals eat, है ना? So have you ever seen or do you have any cattle or a pet at your home whom you take care of, like a dog or a cat or a buffalo or a goat? Well, buffalo or goat cities में होना is quite like difficult, no? पर अपना अगर जिसके भी गांव है वहां आपने देखा होगा, गाय होती है, भैंसे होती है, buffaloes होती है, right? And if you have ever observed, गिलहरी क्या खाती है, nuts को या मूंगफली खाना बहुत पसंद करती है, isn't it? So now अभी हमें पता है कि ये सारा फूड कहाँ से आ रहा है, हमने देखा, right? We will surely be aware of the food the animal eats. So what about the other animals? जैसे अगर हमने स्क्वेरल को देखा है ऐसा, हमें पता है कि मूंगफली खा रही है, कहाँ से आ रहा है, या हमने कभी कबूतर को देखा हो या छिपकली को देखा हो, या फिर जो छोटे छोटे इंसेक्ट्स होते हैं वो अपने फूड की जगह पर, मतलब जो उनका फूड क्या है और वो कहाँ से आ रहा है, उसका सोर्स क्या है. सो let's perform some activity जिसमें क्या वेरियस नेम्स है, एलिमेंट्स के वेरियस एनिमल्स के नेम है एंड वी हैव टू राइट डाउन फूड ऑफ द एनिमल दैट इट ईट्स. वो एनिमल कौन सा फूड खाता है. ओके ओके लेट्स सी. अब जैसे यहाँ बफेलो लिखा है, तो व्हाट आर द नेम्स ऑफ फूड्स द एनिमल ईट्स. बफेलो ईट ग्रास, ऑयल केक्स, hay, grains, isn't it, right? Bhusa, hay means bhusa, grains खाते हैं. ऐसे similarly if you see cat, it eat small animals, birds and milk, isn't it? Let's come to rat. Rat क्या खाता है? Rat eats grains, it also eats fruits, right? So we have to write what these animals eat, right? The food of these animals. Then come to lion. Lion eats other animals, isn't it? Am I correct? Then if you see tiger, what does tiger eat? Tiger also eats other animals. What about the spider? Spider, have you ever observed spider? They eat other insects present inside the house, isn't it? Then house lizard, it also eat insects, right? Then what about cow? Have you ever noticed? it eats grass. Then again, just like buffalo, oil cake, hay, right, grains. Then we human beings, we eat different kinds of vegetables, fruits, and then grains, etc., etc., right? Okay. Then butterfly, we have just seen nectar of flowers, isn't it? Nectar of flowers, or fruit, sweet juices of flowers. Then let's come to crow. Crow eats grains or sometimes small birds as well. Then see some or some other animals like, let's talk about housefly. Housefly देखा है ना? So it eats fruits. कभी कभी हमारे खाने पे भी बैठी होती है. So of course it eats grains. It eats vegetables. Okay, clear? So okay. So अभी हमने जो animal की बात की, तो animals are, if you see this table, you can observe the different animals are eating different types of food, isn't it? सारे animals अलग अलग type के food खा रहे हैं. तो depending upon their fooding habit, depending upon their food habit, we classify animals in herbivores, carnivores and omnivores, right? हम कैसे classify किया हुआ है हमने animals को? We have classified it into herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. So let's understand each one of them one by one. Herbivores matlab, the herbivores are those animals which eat only plants or plant products. Okay, those animals which eat only plant or plant product, they are known as herbivorous animals. Okay, like cow. Cow is an herbivore animal. है ना? हमने कभी देखा काऊ को मीट खाते हुए? No, it eats only plants and plant products. Then what are carnivorous animals? The carnivore animals are those animals which eat other animals, like meat खा रहे हैं या उनका दूसरे animals का, जैसे lion, tiger, right? Then comes omnivores. Omnivores means which eat both the animals. The omnivores animals eat both the plant products and the animals, right? मतलब plant products भी खा रहे हैं and meat वगैरह भी खा रहे हैं. For example, dog को हमने देखा ना, अगर हम उसको like रोटी दे वो भी खा लेगा, वो meat भी खा लेता है, isn't it, right? So dog is an omnivore. So let's see some of the more herbivore, carnivores and omnivore animals. Let's list down some of the herbivores animals like cow, or you can say buffalo, isn't it, or rabbit. Okay, I'm giving you some examples. You have to write down some more examples, right? Then carnivores like cat is again a carnivore. Then tiger, isn't it, right? Then omnivore animals which are like which eat both plant product and animal product, right? Like dog hai, rat hai. We human beings, we are also omnivore, है ना? हम भी omnivore हैं. Okay, right? So with this, let's move forward. So here Paheli is wondering, and she wants to know where you would place human beings. Human beings are omnivore because they eat both plant products and animal products, है ना? Right? So with this, we are almost at the end of our chapter. So we need to find ways by which more food can be produced in the country. So हमें मतलब हमेशा हम रिसर्चेस करते रहते हैं जो साइंटिस्ट हैं, और हमें और भी तरीके खोजने चाहिए ताकि हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो फूड है वो प्रोड्यूस कर सके कंट्री में. Because according to the population, this much of food is not necessary, right? So we always there is a need to find ways to ensure this food is made easily available to each one of us. Okay, so here the keywords of the chapter are, we have learned ingredients of various food items, and we have seen some food items are edible, some are not. कुछ food items edible है, कुछ नहीं है. Then nectar का मतलब क्या है? Nectar are sweet juices of flower. Nectar means sweet juices of flowers, जो कि जो bees हैं वो collect करती है to make honey, right? Then sprouted seeds का क्या मतलब है? अगर हम दाल को रख देते हैं ना, भीगी दाल को थोड़ी देर तक भिगाया, उसको रख दिया, then वो germinate हो जाती है, उसमें से अलग दूसरे मतलब उसका parts निकलने लगते हैं. That is nothing but sprouted seeds, right? Then herbivore मतलब herbivore वो animals है जो कि सिर्फ प्लांट या प्लांट प्रोडक्ट्स खाते हैं, जो प्लांट या प्लांट प्रोडक्ट्स पे डिपेंडेंट है, उनकी फूड हैबिट्स कैसी है, प्लांट और प्लांट प्रोडक्ट्स, राइट। ओके, कार्निवोर क्या है, which are dependent on animal products, right? Omnivore क्या, which are like which are dependent on both plant and animal. Okay, जो plant product और animal product दोनों खा लेते हैं, just like we human beings. Okay, we are omnivores. So let's quickly summarize what we have learned in this whole chapter. We have seen there is a lot of variation in the food. Food में बहुत तरीके का variation है, like हर एक region में इंडिया के अलग अलग तरीके का खाना खाया जाता है। जो main sources है food के, the main sources of food are plants and animals, right? And animals which eat only plants are called herbivores. Animals which eat only animals, जो सिर्फ animals को खाते हैं, उनको हम carnivore कहते हैं. And animals which eat both plants as well as animals are called omnivores. Okay, so with this we are at the end of our chapter. So there are some exercise questions. You can solve it, and I'm sure that you will solve it very easily after learning this chapter. So stay tuned for the more chapters which are coming in line. So all of you, I hope you all of you have enjoyed this session. आप लोग अपने views comment section में जरूर लिखिएगा, and I always welcome the suggestions and comments from all of you. So with this, I am taking your permission to end today's session. Thank you so much.